If you are considering opening an Etsy shop today and you're not sure if you should be selling digital products or print-on-demand products, today's video is for you. Because here's a fun twist. I actually run two Etsy shops. One that sells digital products and one that sells print-on-demand products. And at the end of today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you which one I would be choosing today if I were starting over. But instead of a boring comparison of digital products versus print-on-demand, we are going to be hosting a little bit of a showdown today. 5 rounds, 2 business models, and only one winner. So get your bell. It's time to dive in. Hey there, my name is Emily. I'm a busy mom of 2 who somehow found herself as a multi-six-figure Etsy seller. And I run 2 shops, one digital shop and one print-on-demand shop. And now I have helped hundreds of aspiring Etsy sellers start, grow, or scale their own Etsy shops. And if you love simple, not overcomplicated Etsy strategy, go ahead and hit like or subscribe below so you don't miss a weekly video. Now, before we jump into round 1, I want to do a simple explanation of what are digital products and what are print-on-demand products. Print-on-demand is simply a fulfillment method. So what that means is you create a design based on research for your Etsy shop. You then put it on a product with a print provider like Printify, let's say on a mug or a journal or a candle. And when that product sells in your Etsy shop, Printify does all the hard work of processing and shipping that order for you to the customer. So you never actually have to physically touch the product yourself. Now, with digital products, you are actually creating a printable invitation or a Canva template or social media templates that you will then deliver digitally to the customer. So when they place an order on Etsy, Etsy will send them that file automatically so they can download it to their own computer. So both of these businesses do not require ever touching a physical product, and there are a lot of similarities, but there are also some differences. So we are going to jump into round 1. Round 1 is passiveness. So which one of these 2 business models is the most passive? Now, this is a little bit of a trick question here because, to be honest, I don't really believe in the phrase passive income. However, both of these businesses can definitely be more automated. Now, with digital products, once you upload that file type to your Etsy listing and someone purchases it, Etsy is automatically going to be sending that to the customer. And so there's really nothing for you to do. Now, versus print on demand, when you get an order, depending on how you have your shop set up, you may still have to go into Printify or whatever site you're using for your products and either personalize it or press process and move that item forward. So there is a little bit more work to do on the back end when it comes to print on demand. So digital products, you get instant delivery. There's no shipping that you have to worry about, and there's no tracking questions from customers. Digital products are pretty chill. They're pretty calm. Now, print on demand, you still have that order processing. You still have those shipping questions you might receive and those tracking questions. So because of that, the winner of round 1 for passiveness is going to go to digital products. This is a tight match, so let's see what round 2 brings with design difficulty. So this is an area that often surprises people when I talk with them about it. Everybody thinks digital products are easy, right? And print on demand is harder. But to be honest, in my experience, it's kind of the opposite. With digital templates, there's a lot of different things to consider in terms of file type, in terms of formatting, sizing, DPI, Canva template versus printable. There's a lot of different things that you have to consider when it comes to creating digital products. It also depends on what kind of product you're selling. Are you selling a 15-page PDF or planner? Are you selling a single Canva template invitation? There's a lot of different factors at play here. Now, with print on demand, you can create really simple designs. To be honest, some of my best-selling designs are literally 4 or 5 words in black text that I have put on a product in Printify. And those designs I can pump out in no time. So with print on demand, text-only designs, they sell. Simple graphics, they sell. A clean, repeatable template that you can use over and over again, they sell. Print on demand design is actually shockingly forgiving and very beginner friendly, even though a lot of times people think it's the opposite. So for round 2, for design difficulty, the winner of this one is going to be print on demand. Let's jump into round 3. The topic for this one is going to be saturation. Now, this is a hot topic whenever it comes to talking about Etsy. Is Etsy too saturated? Are there too many people selling on Etsy? It's too late to get into printables. It's too late to get into print on demand. And my answer is none of the above is true. And one of the things I can show you to showcase how this is not true and is completely a myth about both digital products and print on demand is using one of my favorite research tools called Everbee. Now, one thing I absolutely love about Everbee is that you are able to see the shop age when you are looking at products. And I cannot tell you how many shops I have seen that are 3 months old, 6 months old, a year old, that are making very steady and consistent sales in both the digital product and the print on demand space. Now, let's dig into this a little bit more. When it comes to saturation, yes, if you are thinking very mainstream general products, let's say a planner or a mom t-shirt, those things are going to be very hard to stand out in. But when it comes to both digital products and print on demand, where I have seen success and my students continue to see success are in these very specific areas for specific customers. And it is important, regardless of whatever type of product you're selling on Etsy, that you are speaking to a specific customer. So instead of thinking about a general mom t-shirt, think about a shirt for a mom who likes to quilt. Or instead of just a general planner, let's think about resources for someone who is a nurse or someone who is a teacher. Thinking about those specific audiences and finding a lane within these saturated areas is going to be what is most important. So who's the winner of round 3 when it comes to saturation? That one's actually going to be a tie because honestly, there is room for all of us in both digital products and in print on demand. Before we move on to round 4, it is time for this week's coffee and cha-chings. And this question is so good. What is the biggest beginner mistake you see when it comes to digital products or print on demand on Etsy? And honestly, it's pretty simple. They skip the research. I can't tell you how many countless sellers I have worked with that design first and then it's crickets. And they have skipped the most important part of the process, which is looking at what Etsy buyers actually want. And it's not because these sellers are not talented or don't have the skill to have success on Etsy. It's because they're focusing on what they like and what they would want as opposed to what Etsy customers are actively buying on the platform. Now, what is my go-to tool for discovering these in-demand products? And that's going to be Everbee. This has truly been a game changer for my shop, just being able to discover what products are being actively purchased by Etsy customers, looking at different data points like how old is the shop that is selling those, how old is the listing, what keywords are they using. These are all important pieces that have helped me scale my shop to the place it is today. And that's this week's Coffee and Cha-Ching. Don't forget to post your questions below so I can answer them in an upcoming segment. All right, back to the ring. And it's time for round 4, which is going to be beginner friendliness. So, which one of these models is more beginner friendly? Print on demand or digital products? And this is honestly a tough one because, in my opinion, Both of these models are incredible side hustles or business opportunities for beginner entrepreneurs. I had zero experience going into this when it came to designing or any business experience. And so selling digital products or print on demand on Etsy are honestly the ones that I recommend to people who don't have experience as a side hustler. So this is a bit of a competitive race for beginner friendliness. But if I had to choose, I would choose print on demand for this one. And the reason for that really comes back to the technical aspects of this. So, for example, if you are designing for a mug, you are using the same design, size, and template over and over again. Sometimes with printables, depending on what products you're designing, there is a bit of a learning curve in figuring out the formatting or the sizing, and then how you're going to upload that to the customer. Now, all of those things can be learned and they are not hard, but it does take a little bit of time. And so often I will tell people I actually find print on demand a little bit more beginner friendly. Now, don't get me wrong, both opportunities have things you have to learn. That is going to be par for course with any new business or skill that you're learning. But when it comes to beginner friendliness, this one is going to go to print on demand. And our final round, round 5, is going to be scalability. Which one of these models can be scaled bigger and faster than the other? Now, I might be a little bit partial. Yes, I run both a digital product shop and a print on demand shop. And my print on demand shop has definitely become our number one income stream for our family. And it has scaled to a point that I honestly could have never predicted. And when you're just getting started, you may not be worried about scalability. And this is something I honestly didn't even think about at the beginning, but it is really important to consider. So, do digital products scale? Yes, there are Etsy shops making so many sales selling digital products, printables, and the business opportunity is there, no doubt. But with digital products comes some extra time required for formatting, and sometimes your profit margins can be a little bit lower. Now, I'm not saying you should ever be pricing your digital products at a really low price. You absolutely can be and should be making a solid profit margin with your digital products. On average, the profit margins for digital products on Etsy typically fall in the 80 to 90% range after you are subtracting fees from Etsy. Now, how does that compare to print on demand? Print on demand margins typically fall from 25 to 50% depending on what products you're selling. So both of them have their pros and their cons. Digital products are going to give you a higher profit margin, but sometimes lower sales price. Print on demand is going to give you a lower profit margin on average, but a higher sales price. So sometimes those things can even out. In my experience, I have generally made more per product with print on demand than digital products. So that is something to keep in mind. But when it comes to scalability, I have found the reason that I'm going to give print on demand the edge in this one is because the ability to add your designs to so many products very efficiently. You can take one design template and turn it into 10 products in just minutes. And in a previous video, I showed you how I took one design template and turned it into multiple products for my Etsy shop in just minutes. And I'll link that in the show notes for you. So yes, both print on demand and digital products are absolutely scalable, 100%. But for me, I'm going to be choosing print on demand as the round 5 winner because of the ease of scalability with your print on demand designs and the products available to you. So, who is the final winner of this showdown between digital products and print on demand products on Etsy? And the winner is print on demand. But here's the thing, it's not because digital products aren't great. They are. And honestly, selling digital products on Etsy is one of my favorite income streams because it is incredibly automated and incredibly passive once you've put it in the work up front. But print on demand is going to win this showdown because the designs can be very simple. It can scale faster. And it truly works like an amazing business model for busy people like myself who have full-time jobs or kids or families or other responsibilities. And honestly, I'm a little biased because it is the business model that has truly changed our lives. So, if I had to start over again in 2026, which one would I choose? Digital products or print on demand? I would have to choose print on demand. But the good news is, you truly can't go wrong either way. And oftentimes, it's about finding the right fit for you. So, if you are looking for more Etsy tips and strategies, don't forget to hit like or subscribe below. And I look forward to seeing you next time.